All right, boys, can you hear us? We are live. Let us
Oh, nice.
know. Let us know if you guys can hear us. We have audio this time.
Yeah, if for people who don't know this, we've been on a Twitch stream trying to figure out guest star for the last 35 minutes or 30 minutes,
Yep.
and sadly we couldn't make it work.
All right, they can hear us. Let me post the link in the Discord too. Maybe someone wants to hang out in there. But feel free. I'm gonna let you present. I feel like every time we talk, I'm always the one presenting charts. I'm gonna let you do it this time.
Sure. Look, do you want me to share my screen? One
Yeah,
sec.
of course.
Yeah, let me start with the trade of the year, pretty much. Share screen. Which one is it? Holy fuck! I have two arcs open. One sec. Let me change one to Tomo and now arc. The problem with sharing screen is that when you have like 12 tabs on three different screens open, um, like I had two arc charts open, and I was like, yeah, let me just make sure that's the right one. Otherwise, I'll just open like a window that I'm not supposed to open. Anyway, so can you guys see my screen? Oh wait, do I need to click on it? You need. Wait, Doc, you're still here, right?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. My bad. I was just posting the link in the Discord.
Oh, okay, perfect.
I'm
I
on
was,
stage,
I,
bro.
I have PTSD from what happened on Twitch. Even though we've always been perfect on YouTube with Streamyard, I was like, wait, did this thing go wrong this time?
Boom. There we
Um,
go.
Perfect. Yeah. So look, Arc was yeah. I mean, look, it's a combination of luck and a combination of just being at the right time at the right place. I actually created a club. I was just trying out. I saw this feature on Twitter, what it was. So I clicked on it, and it's supposed to be. I mean, from what I've understood for now, is it's a closed community. Somebody actually DM'd me, and they were like, "Hey, bro, if you want to start a channel, you should call it. No, you should start a Telegram channel, and if you do, you should call it the Bombay Trillionaire Club, which is BTC." And
Oh, that's funny.
I was like, that's amazing. I just named the community that I have on Twitter as the Bombay Trillionaire Club, and there was a guy who actually posted a message in the group 2 days back saying, "Look, Arc, keep an eye on Arc. It looks amazing." I was like, "Good call." There was a clear increase in volume on the daily on Arc, and then I sent it to a friend of mine while we were testing, and I posted on my friend tech about the possibility of getting. Um, but whenever a chart does something like this, I like to play off of the EMA trends, find a trend that it's respecting. It's either like most of the times I use 21, 100, and 200. For these cartel coins, I've been using 36, sometimes 51. It's just about finding a sort of level to play off of. I'll use the word play instead of something like, I don't know, trading. It's more of a game where you're playing off of a line with tight stop losses. You're trying to get a good entry, and I was fortunate enough to get an entry on EMA 21 on it, and then yeah, ride it. I actually closed it a bit too early. My friend who I actually trade with every day, he made like what 400% profits in that trade.
I was talking to Trader Mercury recently, and he was talking about how he has a rule of, people ask him, and they ask me the same thing about like, Doc, what EMA do you use, or what trend do you follow? And it's basically you pay attention to whatever the chart is respecting, right? If the chart's respecting the 1 hour trend, you trade the 1 hour trend. If the chart's respecting the four, you trade the four, right? And it's just
Absolutely.
about doing, you don't really have to do that much. It takes maybe 1 minute of back testing, and you're looking at the trend and you're saying, okay, it's respecting on the 1 hour. Just trade the 1 hour. It's really not
100%.
that complicated.
And that's absolutely fine. And that's a sign from the charts to telling you to just fuck off. And you should.
Wait, I think we broke up for a second. What'd you say? Oh shit! Don't tell me we're having audio problems here now too.
Wait, are we? I can hear you perfectly fine, by the way.
Okay, maybe it's my end.
Can the chat hear us perfectly fine?
I think so. It was just me. I cut out for a second. I didn't. I don't know, but I guess
Oh,
we're
anyway, so yeah, what I was saying was like sometimes the charts do not give you a clear trend that it's following. and it's a sign from the charts telling you to just, yeah, fuck off. As simple
Yeah.
as that.
Yeah.
And in those moments, you just have to accept it until you find something that's working on it. There was a very cool book that I read. I don't even remember when I first started trading, and this guy was talking about. I think it was an article somewhere, if I remember correctly, about true RSI. And in those days, RSI for me was something super important. I don't use it that much anymore. And the point that he made was that, and this is something that I use a lot for my trading, the Indian stock market, by the way, which is at all-time highs right now, um,
The
is finding
Nifty.
a true, yeah, the
Mhm.
Nifty.
I love
And
the name, the Nifty 50.
yeah, it's a really good.
Okay, we're gonna be patient because I think his audio cut out again.
Is it my audio?
Yeah, it's breaking up every once in a while. It is the Twitch curse that's following you around, man.
Hey, let me ask you.
I wonder what it is. I think maybe it's just a connection thing this time. Make sure don't have anything running in the. I don't have anything running in the background, so should be okay. Well, while we wait for him, I will share as well. Can you guys see my stream or my charts? I'm just gonna put this on while we wait for him to figure it out. I haven't been personally trading myself too much in September. I've been kind of like in the off season, but occasionally you get these bread and butter trades that you just kind of can't ignore. And I was talking about this in the clinic this morning, and I think I've covered this on Twitter a few times. But one of the only things that one of the only coins that I think is trading super cleanly at the moment, as far as high time frame EMAs work, low time frame, and SR levels, is Render. Tommy Guns and I were talking about how it's one of the greatest trend respecters in the market. Look at back in January, one of these monster moves that Render made, almost like a 4x move, just trading on the H4 EMAs, right? And yeah, both ways, all the way down, all the way up, right? So whenever you see Render starting to trend on the 4 hour, you basically, I look at it as like a free money trade, and look at what we've gotten from Render pretty much the last few weeks, right? Since the start of September, you're flipping the high time frame 100, 200, which are the blue ones at the bottom, the high time frame EMAs, and you're respecting the low time frame EMAs, and you're flipping a local SR. A lot of beauty in this trade, a lot of entries that you could have gotten. And then you're just looking basically to take it into the underside rejection of the daily 100, daily 200. And if I zoom out and put in a little bit of a higher time frame, you guys can see how it was a daily 100, 200 defender for a while, right? Until we lost it. And now we're expecting kind of first test, best test rejection up here, 165. This is something that I tweeted out weeks ago, I think in August. Basically, look, I think Render's put in a significant bottom for some time, and I think the valuable trade is just to ride this into an underside rejection. And like I said, I haven't been trading, so what I did was just pick up spot. I just bought spot, and I'm like, I'm not going to do anything with this. Whenever it gets to 160, I'm going to sell the spot, and that's a super passive trade for myself. Is BT back? Let's see.
Can you guys hear me?
Okay, he's back. Sweet.
Yeah, but I mean, by the way, it's so weird because I thought it was my internet, but I could hear you throughout. Like I heard everything perfectly.
I'm
I
not
played a
sure.
YouTube video. It's just so. Is this a sign from whoever's in charge at the very top? I mean, God or whatever you want to call it, for me to just quit. I don't know.
No, 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 no. I think they're just saying it's too much free information, too much free and valuable information. You guys need to stop. I think it's more of that.
I mean, just when I think Doc is a nice guy, you just go like one level up and you become an even nicer guy. But yeah, thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, please continue. Sorry.
No, I pretty much covered what I wanted to say. I think, I don't think there's a cleaner trending coin in the market. Like, I love trading CAS. You guys hear me talking about CAS all the time because it is really one of the cleanest, but Cast doesn't have the liquidity that Render has. So I don't know what size people are trading nowadays. If you're trading, you know, $500,000 notional size, you're probably going to need to trade Render and not Caspa. But yeah, Caspa super clean, and I think, you know, for me, I'm going to be selling. I'm going to be selling my spot. Probably tomorrow. I'm expecting this to tag by like the weekly open or maybe weekly close up here at 165, and that'll be it for me. But yeah, this, you know, and I think the lesson I want to say there, and something that I was saying earlier, is that don't underestimate the value of trading spot. You know, a lot of times you can get these super choppy conditions. And I was looking at this myself. Like, if I did actually try to take some futures positions in here, and one of my goals in September was, look, I don't want to hold any overnight positions. I want to focus on, you know, recovery, health, making sure I get enough sleep and all that. So I did actually try taking this a few times from a futures perspective. And then I just closed it around 6, 7 p.m. my time, numerous times. So that is chopping myself up. Meanwhile, the spot is just continuing. Like, I'm not getting chopped in the spot. I'm not taking prop, not doing anything. I'm saying, look, my high time frame target is 165, and made more money just doing nothing, holding the spot, waiting for that bearish back test. And in my opinion, this is going to be a bearish back test. It'll probably end up coming back down to the 130s, 140s eventually. So that's really all I wanted to say on Render. If there's anything you want to add to that.
I mean, look, Ren, I've just, I was the guy who was always, what's the right word? Apprehensive? Maybe that's the right word. About these sort of cartel coins, high volatile coins, because I was always staying away from them. And recently, for the last 2, 3 weeks, I've just like wholeheartedly embraced them, and I've gone like full crazy degen to the other side, to a point where I've been going to sleep at 6 a.m. Like, I've been sending message on my friend tech, answering people, and they're like, "Good night and good morning," and I'm like, "Yeah, bro, it's like 6 a.m. where I am, and I still haven't slept because it's addictive." You know, like the market is giving us so many opportunities. I like, full disclosure, I did not expect volatility of this kind to come from. I'm not that I'm somebody who has a lot of experience, but even then, I did not expect this. And the last few days with HIFI, TRB, R yesterday, and
Yep.
even before that, with what was happening with LPT, I still think LPT is a good buy. Like there's a very clear range there,
Here, let me switch
and
back to your screen.
yeah, let me actually pull up. This
There
was
you go.
art, by the way. This was I was fortunate enough to get a EMA 21 entry earlier. I took some profits on the way up. My friend who traded this much better than I did made like 400% on this. Pretty much the trade of the year. The other one, which was slightly less risky for me, posted the same. Let me actually find LPT. Oh, it's not this one. It's okay. So look, this is the watch list that I haven't even been using. This is the master list. The one that I have been using is this one, and it's just I don't know how to say anything else than just shit coins. And let me show you the LPT chart. Yeah, this is what I was seeing on LPT, and if you look at this chart right here, if I'm not betting this here, I don't know when I would even bet on this chart. Like if I just see this chart right here,
Yep.
you can extend this slightly to the left and see that it matches up with something like this. It was a no-brainer buy for me,
Hmm.
and ever since then, if it can clear this short-term trend, which was the EMA 21 and EMA 36, like anything above this, I feel this is the one that, those are the ones that you just get a good entry and you ride the wave.
Yep. Exactly.
Worst case scenario, you take like a very small loss, because it's these trades, it's these coins which have a lot more, like eyes on them. It's like at the end of the day, what you're trading is vision or attention. Like I think attention is a much better word. It's like you're just trading attention of mass majority, and which is something that I've been saying. I was talking to a friend. Maybe this is a conversation for some other time about friend tech and where this thing is going. And I feel it's the same way, where like people look at L1s, and I know a lot of people who are still stuck in that 2021 mindset of trading L1s, of trading Near, trading AVAX, trading Solana, trading all these L1 coins. And I feel that that train left a long time back, and there's no attention there. Yes, Solana is one of those coins which has attention on it because of other reasons, but what I mean is like the L1 trade is over. And these are the charts which have a lot of eyes on them or attention on them.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, that's what you're, as a trader, you seek volatility, you seek attention.
The only thing I want to add to that, and I think is a perfect thing, is trading in crypto is all about the meta game, right? And the meta game is shifting constantly. Where is the attention moving? What's the meta? And I know a lot of people here probably play video games and live update video games where the developers will be like, well, this weapon or this whatever is getting too
Yeah,
powerful. It needs a nerf. Let me buff something else, and the entire meta of the game changes, and you're forced to change the way you play as a player to succeed. And you see that all the time in crypto as well. Like it'll be cartel coins. Like right now, it's cartel coins. And what happens is the people who are unwilling to shift their own play style and adapt to the cartel coins are either going to not make any money for a little bit of time, or you have to wait for the meta to shift back to something you're more comfortable with, right? But a lot of times what occurs is that you're not trading the metagame early enough, right? As soon as it stops feeling risky, it's going to become more risky, right? Because if you're fading TRB and all these other, I don't even know how many coins because I haven't been trading them. But by the time you get mentally comfortable and being like, well, this is what I want to trade, let me look for the next cartel coin, it may probably end up being too late. It may end up being like, oh, the meta is shifting. There's no longer cartel coins. Now we're back to, the hot coins. Now we're back to the LDOs and the renders and everything else that's been hot in 2023.
absolutely. And I actually, I started writing something, I think 6 months or 8 months back about this because I'm a big League of Legends player. And I don't know, like, the reason I actually wrote like 2,000, 3,000 words on this. And then I was like, people just won't get it because there's not a lot of League of Legends players here. But the game of League of Legends, I don't know, Doc, if you played it or seen it. Um,
Familiar with it, but I've never played.
yeah, it's a total meta game. There's patch updates that happen every month because there's like 150 champions, and every patch there's some tweak to some champion. Some champs get buffed, some champions get nerfed, and that there are a lot of people who are still stuck in previous metas. And it's not that you cannot succeed as a League of Legends player if you're not playing to the meta. It's just you're making the game way too difficult for you. At the end of the day, everybody here is playing to make money, right? Now you can play an easy game and make money, and by easy I mean relatively easy. There's no easy money in the world. Um, so you can either play a very difficult game, like you imagine playing, I don't know, something like Red Dead Redemption or something on ultra difficulty, and then you just stuck on the second mission or the third mission, and you never reach to the end of the story, whatever the reward of the game was, which
Yep.
was reaching the end of the story. And the same is true for League of Legends. Like you can play to the meta, you can succumb to the meta and win your games, which is your objective there. And the same applies for trading. Like you can play the easy game, relatively easy, of course, or you can play the difficult game. And I'm not saying that you won't succeed by trading, your AVAX, your Neos, or whatever,
Yeah.
Dot or Kusama and all those 2021 coins. You can still succeed, but you're just making it ultra difficult for you when you don't have to. At
Yeah.
the end of the day, as a trader, your responsibility, in my opinion, is to spot volatility, is to spot attention. Look
Yeah.
at what people are talking about, and then use your own system to find a long or a short, depending on what you see. But the biggest mistake, and a lot of people actually DM'd me this, like how do you actually get in on this game? And look, I never tell people what to do. I can only tell them what I do. And the only piece of advice I have for people, like suggestion, more like suggestion, is just watch price action of these charts. Like every good trader, I'm sure Doc will agree, will understands the importance of screen time for a new trader. I think it's the single most important thing is to just watch price action.
Yeah.
But that's not the end of the sentence, because you need to watch price action of charts that are actually doing something. If you just keep watching a Bitcoin go to the right and keep going crab market wise to the right, it's of no fucking use. You might as well just go out, have some fun with your friends and your family. If
Yeah.
you're watching these coins, if you watch price action, and I wrote like a 4-step process today for people who are new traders who want to get in on the cartel coins, but they're too afraid. uh, Number one, you look for volume spikes on lower time frames. That's, in my opinion, the most easy way to spot attention coming to a coin is to find volume spikes. You can do it using screeners. You can do it by setting up alerts. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can actually set up alerts on volume as well on TradingView. you can set up an alert. Like you can just click here. Let me actually open volume here. You can uh, click on volume. Let me actually change this. Put this. Now you can add an alert on volume crossing the EMA, which you've set up. I've set it up as EMA MA14. Sorry. So you can set up an alert on a coin on TradingView when it exceeds. So whenever the volume on one particular candle on any time frame will exceed the MA14 of volume, you will get an alert on it. And I
Mm.
still feel spotting these alerts, like spotting the spike in volume is the easiest way to see where attention is going. It's not telling you whether it's going to go up or not. All volume is telling you is where the attention is or is about to come, and you try to find that. If you're ultra degen, you try to find that on the 1 minute chart, which I definitely would not recommend anybody do, even though I do that. Um, but the 15 minute, in my opinion, is good for that, because it allows you to see where the attention is. And if you're a new trader, look for that volume spike. Look for your levels, lower time frame levels, deviation around those levels, bounces off of levels. And the third one is your trends. I was using personally EMA 21 and EMA 36. Um, for ARC yesterday, it's just about finding a trend that you see on one particular time frame that the price or the chart is respecting. And number four is the confluence of two and three, which is the best case, where you get like some sort of a confluence between a key level and a key trend, and then you try to play off of it. And if you go too high, and the only two other sort of additional notes I have on this is, number one is, make sure you don't go too crazy on your leverage for these. You give the chart enough breathing room, because these coins, like if you notice this arc here, look at this correction. For people who got in early as well, once the chart does go up, this candle here is a 2.86% 15-minute candle. And if you look at this top from here to here, this is a 6.52% trade. Sorry, 6.52% correction, which is normal for these coins. In fact, sometimes you'll notice that these coins on higher time frames will have candles which like this candle is down like what, 10% from top to wick, 10-12%.
Right.
And that's normal. So if you don't give your trade breathing room, if you try to chase price with stops, in my opinion, it doesn't work. Maybe it does work for you or somebody else, but I've noticed that you need to give these
Yep.
give these trades, some breathing space. And the
So
easy way to
one
do
thing,
it, don't go crazy on leverage.
I'm not trading the cartel coins, but one of my I don't, quote unquote mentors or people that I really look up to is Trader Magus, and Magus is crushing the cartel coins, like literally crushing them. And one of the strategies that he's using is to always try to fade or pick up these extreme dumps and just mean revert them, right? So he's trying to spot high volume, like open interest closure, or open interest blowout to the top side, either shorting the top or longing the bottom of those massive wicks, and then just start being a take profit maxi as it reverts back to the mean. And I think the meta here, since a lot of these coins are just going up only, like the TRB trade, right? TRB's done, I don't know what, 2x, 3x, something like that in a very short
Yep.
amount of time. And he's basically just trying to find those pukes, position on those pukes, and then long it back into kind of the reversion of that uptrend, right? Look at all those pukes that are occurring, right? So many 5, 6, 8% down candles, but in an overall extremely high uptrend, right? So it's not even about, hey, let me take an entry and place a stop loss. He's basically actively watching, looking at the pukes, looking at some other, data like flow that me and you don't use because we're price action traders, and then just reverting it back to the mean. So there's a completely different meta that people are using, or strategies that people are using on these cartel coins that are proving very successful for them. But for price action traders like ourselves, it's kind of really about getting a really not a comfortable, but getting a good entry on one of these pukes within proper bullish market structure, and then just kind of doing nothing and allowing the trend to play out. I think that's really what I've seen on these coins, is just understand that the funding is extremely negative, understand that a lot of people are trying to fade these coins, and they're
Yep.
being, for lack of a better term, manipulated to the upside, right? No one cares about TRB. Like, this is not doing anything, right?
Yeah.
But it's going up only for whatever reason. And our responsibility as traders is just to ride the trend, ride the momentum, and not really overthink it. And I asked Magus myself, I was like, or not asked, I told him, I was like, look, man, someone in the clinic was like, hey, doc, should I fade this? It's coming up on resistance. And this is back when it was like $23, like back in, where you're highlighting your pink lines are. And I'm like,
Wait.
no, man, it looks
Oh,
like it's going to.
that's a coincidence. Is when you said TRB, I was like, bro, it's, by the way, it's my biggest regret of the week. 23 is that exact number I was going to tell you, because that's where I was looking for that entry at $23. That's why
Yeah.
you see these lines here on my
Yeah.
chart at
I
23
was
here.
So yeah, someone asked me, he's like, "Hey doc, should I look to be fading this?" I was like, "No, it's probably better to just, buy a dip and be in the trend." And here we are a week later or 5 days later, whatever it is, and it's 2x. And I even said at the time, is it's probably going to go to 40. And I told that Magus that story, and he goes, "Doc, why didn't you just put some money in the line? At the very worst, you learn something." And I go, "Yeah, you're right. That's usually the advice that I give other people. Like, this is just, and you can use me as an example, is like a lot of people are mid curving these things. They're overthinking them. They're getting in their own way, like myself. And instead of taking the easy trade that is going to continue to the upside, you get in your own way by overthinking. Instead of just, if your normal notional size, let's say for an example, like if your normal trade size is $500 and you're not sure what to do in this coin, why not just put $50 on the line and be like, well, at the very worst, I learned something, and you're paying for your
Exactly,
own education,
100%.
right?
The last point, actually, I forgot about this one. The last point that I wanted to make about my previous like 4 point program for these new traders who want to get in on cartel coins is the fifth one is only do it on a side account or an alt account. Never do it on your primary account. This thing can go, like this could become a proper shit show any moment of time. Your stop losses don't do nothing to the upside or to the downside. So make sure you always
Yeah.
have like
I
an
mean, look
alt
at that
account.
volatility at the top right now. Those are like 30% moves within an hour, right? All the way at the top
Absolutely.
there.
And another cool statistic that I have for you is that the ETH volume on Binance was like one point in the last 24-hour volume is 1.94 billion. Can you guess how much is TRB?
7 billion.
No, 3.27 on Binance.
I don't know. I know it
But
was a lot
yeah,
more.
but just imagine that, like 2 billion, like ETH, like just comparing ETH with TRB
Yeah.
3 months back, people would put you in the mental asylum. They'll be like,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
this guy's
I
certifiably
mean,
insane.
that's like we said, that's the meta right now, right? The only
Exactly.
altcoins that are really giving people strong trends are the cartel coins. So you have two options as a trader: either go on vacation and come back when the meta shifted back in your favor, or try to learn, submit, and trade these coins, which a lot of people are doing successfully. So hats off to
Yeah,
them.
absolutely. I mean, like personally, my game plan for now is when we were at 31K, I actually wrote a tweet and it's still in my draft. I never sent it. It was if for any reason Bitcoin goes back to 25K, it's a no-brainer buy in my opinion spot.
Mhm.
And all I've been doing for the last, I would say, 3 to 4 weeks is I had already identified coins that I wanted to buy. I had set up my alerts on those coins on major caps like Lido, like Synapse, like Unibot, like RLB. I knew the levels that I wanted to buy. These coins were super high, and I've just been buying them when they reach my levels on spot. And this is my watch list. Just these coins here,
Oh,
and this is my trading coins. This is the coins that I've been trading whilst I have been buying Lido, while I've been buying Unibot, while I've been buying RLB, I've been buying Synapse and all these coins like which I just want to hold for a medium to long term hold. And
yep.
that's my game plan for now.
Yeah, let's switch over to LDO because Zed just said it's popping off or leading. So let's take a look at that real quick.
Oh, really? Amazing. Uh,
Um,
we
I
actually
haven't
bought it
looked.
at 1.5.
Yeah, I haven't looked at this chart. Do you remember one of our first streams? I was like,
Yes,
LDO
yes,
was trading like two something, and I was like, I'll buy it at
yes.
140. So
No, it was trading way higher.
yeah,
It was trading way higher. I had a level that I wanted to buy it. It was around $2, and I said, "Look, I want to scoop some at $2." And you were the one who said, "No, no, no, I want to buy it like 1.4, 1.5."
yeah, these are now, I haven't traded LDO in a long time, but this is like this looks crap to me. Like all my levels look like shit. I have to rechart this whole thing. Um, but I mean it doesn't look too great, right? I would say like on a high time frame as far as like a bullish trend goes, I guess you would call this is your capitulation. This is
Yep.
testing that wick. You're looking to get some mean reversion, probably clean up some of this stuff. So, how would we take that trade? I mean, look at the clear like daily downtrend. I would want to see this flipped, right? I don't want to long into this continuously. You have two things, right? You have your level here at 157 that it's getting rejected by, and then you have your daily downtrend that it's getting rejected by. So I wouldn't be super bullish on this until it like broke trend, like get above at least a prior high, reclaim these daily downtrends, and then look to play it up to the next levels, right?
Absolutely. Just to be clear, I mean, the reason we've been buying LDO, and I wrote the same message on the Fintech thing last night, is our job is like as investors, not traders,
Yeah,
maybe,
completely
is
different
to
idea if
is
you're
to sort
thinking
of,
about this.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
from
to
an investor.
identify good assets
Yeah.
and to identify good prices for those assets. Like there was a very cool thing. I think Avi Feldman said it on one of his interviews. He was like, "Our job is not to find good assets; is to find good assets at good prices." And look, I had a chat with Schmosby about this as well. He's like ultra bullish on like LDO is one of those coins he wants to buy, and his reasoning was a big nudge to me. Like I was always bullish on Lido because it's the best like ETH proxy for us, and long term I believe next cycle, whenever that is 2024, 2025, all these like TARD5 guys are going to come in,
Yeah.
and they will find this extraordinary 6% yield that they'll go absolutely berserk for. And those are the people I'm targeting to sell my Lido for. And if you look at the weekly chart for Lido, just ignoring all of this, um, there was that 1.5, 1.6, 1.7 dollar level, where prices never come to that level and stayed there on the weekly chart. And this was the first time we actually broke through it. And
Yeah.
now if you notice, we're actually below the Binance listing price. So Binance listing price for me is always significant. I always treat it as a sort of a market indicator of, like even for the old coins, because it's just like, again, I'm not using it as my entry trigger. I always use it as a sort of a reference point, where a coin is based on where it was when it got listed on Binance. Like Binance listing is the biggest listing for all these coins. And I made a point to myself saying that, look, if it comes down to 1.5, 1 point, like anything below 1.5 is like a bonus for me. My job is to buy 30% of what I want to. If I want to build a $10,000 position on Lido, I just want to buy $3,000 worth of Lido at that level, ignoring everything else.
Right.
Everything else is just doesn't matter to me. And the next 30% is going to be like my own sort of personal, when I start believing the lower time frame trends start reversing. And then once we get the continuation, the remaining sort of 40% becomes my add-on to position as the price keeps going up and up.
Yeah, I feel you 100%. And it's funny that this is the way that LDO bottomed last time too. It looked extremely ugly. It was down only. It just kind of filled in this wick inefficiency and then just popped straight up. So I
And
don't know if
look,
we're going to go
if
into an
you
extreme risk on moment like next month or something like that, but just from a range perspective, if you deviate back inside this range, you flip, you know, the daily downtrends, yeah, there's a lot of upside here on LDO, especially because of how ugly and inefficient this price action was to the downside. You can see madness occur. If we just get a little bit of a risk on environment.
Absolutely, and look at those two white candles, the ones that were right from the bottom on the 3 day chart, like no, before like 2023, start of 2023, when the
Yeah,
pump started. There's literally no downside wick, like negligible downside wick on those
yeah,
candles.
I see that.
And it's like what the market does is a lot of people keep waiting for retests, and these people eventually capitulate, leading to these candles that don't get retracements. Because imagine a bunch of 100 people who are waiting, and this is just like for visual purposes for new people, is
Hmm.
imagine people waiting for price to come down, retest some particular level. And these bunch of 100 people, they have different risk profiles. And you know eventually what happens is all these 100 people say fuck it and buy it at a higher price, leading to price keep like never giving you the retest that you wanted.
Yeah. This reminded me of something kind of off topic, but I think pretty valuable to visualize here. I was in LDO for this trade, so like I was trading this the entire way up. Um, and I remember this day specifically because I was in longs and I was like, oh, I should probably take profit here. We're getting up into that resistance. Everyone's going to want to take profit. And I missed this candle like completely. I didn't make any money on this. But fast forwarding to, I remembered that exact moment and I was like, look, this feels just like LDO. Uh, LDO did. We had all that momentum. We're grinding into this level on Solana, right? This is like the XRP thing. I
Yep.
expect so, and then I nailed this one on Solana. Just like I was already in a position. I don't mean I longed this or anything, but I was already in a position and I just held it through this because I was like, it's the exact same thing. We're grinding up into a level. Everyone's expecting this to be resistance. They're probably going to end up shorting it, and we're just going to fucking rip them a new one. And that's exactly what we did. So just something to remember when you're in
And
like a
yeah,
risk
100%.
environment and something is trending really nicely and you're reaching something that you think, oh, this is probably a resistance. Just understand there's going to be a lot of people mid curving and being like, oh, that's resistance. I should take a short. It's up 3x. It's up 50%. It's up 80%. And it's significant level. No, you're going to get your ass blown out. Like the market always favors. The market's going to favor bulls. The market's going to favor higher prices, and they just don't fade anything in crypto that's trending really hard.
Absolutely. And this, by the way, for people who are wondering, like, why would Doc even think that? It's because of screen time. Like when you start as a trader, you see these things like happen to you. The market happens to you initially, and then it slowly turns into the market happens for you. And that transition only happens when you get absolutely giga fucked by the market a few times, and you hope that those were the times when you were paper trading in your initial journey. And then once you start trading with a big enough size, you sort of like the market happens for you. Whew, what chart is that? MTL?
This is MTL.
That's
I just
MTL,
saw
right?
Tommy posted in chat. He's like, it absolutely nuked.
Whew, that's what.
20% over 16 hours, but let's see. Last 8 hours, 15%. Yeah, I mean, this is like, that's crazy. I'm assuming this is another cartel coin. I remember one of our boys in chat, or in the clinic, Mike, was trading MTL all the way down here. I hope he caught some of this.
Yeah, I haven't traded MTL. Last I remember,
Oh wait,
MTL
this is
was.
probably a long, huh?
Wait, let me actually open the chart on MTL here. You never know. You never know. MTL. If I remember, like I may be wrong here, but the last time I remember MTL was my KuCoin days, which was at least a couple of years back, if I'm not wrong. At least,
I
and
have
that was
no
the
idea
last
what
thing.
coin this is. I have no idea.
Because I remember it was one of those coins that was, oh, sorry, not KuCoin. I meant WazirX. It's an Indian crypto exchange. When I first started in crypto, I had no like exposure to anything else. It was the only place I had an account on. And that's when I first saw MTL. I think it was 2 years back. So,
No, I
holy
mean,
fuck.
not gonna lie, I wouldn't be surprised if this gave you an extreme like complacency bounce at least from this level. Good catch. I'll keep it on. I'll keep an eye on this one.
Yeah, look, the best coins are the ones that are absolutely pumping or dumping. I mean, that's what you want.
Yeah.
You want half the coins to perma go up, half the coins to keep going down, like on lower time frames, and you try to become the guy who's trying to go for the mean reversion play.
This is one to keep an eye on as well. I forgot. I think Loma tweeted this yesterday that he's long WLD, or was he long or short? I don't know, but I just saw it on a few tweets on Twitter over the last like 12, 14 hours. It's probably another one to keep an eye on. I don't know if this is going to end up being crazy and just keep trending, because I think this is that WorldCoin, right? The one that scans
Yeah,
your retina.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So it's a hated coin. People are going to be really upset that it's pumping. It may continue upwards here. Worth keeping an eye on this one too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you notice the last pump on WLD and you put like the volume on it, you'll notice this coin goes through periods of no volume, and like when it was dumping, there was no volume, and then there's a big chunk of volume. Price went up, and then came down, like pretty much retraced the entire move. And this time, for the first time, we're actually making like a higher high. So any retracements, in my opinion, are bullish opportunities until proven otherwise. I mean, there's a very cool crypto cred uh, line that he said in his YouTube. You know, the TA series he has, which I think is like the best TA series out there. Um, is a support is support until proven otherwise, and a resistance is resistance
Yeah.
until proven otherwise. And I still think like the same applies here. Is like until proven otherwise, WLD it's clearly gone above its previous local top with considerable volume, and there's no reason I would fade this. In fact, it's about looking for long opportunities, and based on whatever system you're using or anybody in chat is using, it's just about finding at the end of the day, your job as a trader is to find a level to bid on, which is worth bidding on, taking into account how much money you're risking on it, and that's it. Like this whole TA versus FA discussion, I've always like, I don't get it. It's like people assume we draw lines to predict the market. It's just to tell ourselves whether the trade we're taking is worth it or not.
This looks good. Well, I'm just taking a look at this. This doesn't look bad at all.
Hundred
Probably
percent.
gets continuation.
Yeah.
I
So for
haven't.
coin,
I think we mentioned it a little bit at the top of the show, but I have not been trading like at all. So like I'm starting to. I was burnt out, man. It's been a fucking long ass year. But yeah, like I'm starting to get that itch now for the first time this month of like, oh man, this looks good. I should open up a new account. I should fund a fresh account. Let's get it going again.
look, it's my favorite thing to do. I'll be honest with you. My absolutely like my favorite part of trading is starting a fresh account with a fresh purpose, and like coming up with rules for it, and I don't know, trying to like gamify it for my own self, like.
Yeah.
And um, and yeah, and that's what I'm planning to do is start a new account with a sort of goal set and just do it all on an Excel sheet. Like try to do what Rect Proof did. I don't know if you know Rect Proof. The guy's a
Yeah, of course.
very good trader. And yeah, try to do something like that. Start a $500 account, super high risk trades with these cartel coins. Because my biggest mistake was I was doing it on a sub account. Um, and yeah, so I need to like start a new account so that I can in the future I can just like publicize all of that. Like just make it all public. Like look, people can look at all the trades, all the
Yeah, of course.
downside, all the upside.
I mean, there's no reason Rune doesn't get continuation now either, huh?
It's been a while. It's been a while since I've come back to my master list. I'll be honest with you. I've just been my watch list comprises of AMB and BLZ and LPT, all these coins that I have. Look, the reason I'm a bit hesitant in sharing these trades is because I don't know what the coin does. I really don't know what the coin does, and
Hey,
I
I'll
don't know if it's
ask
a
you,
low cap.
do you know the Kava thing right now? I saw this one also talked about a little bit. Kava or
No,
Kava? Is this a DF whatever DWF coin?
not that I'm aware of, but unless something has happened recently. But yeah, I don't know. It's not in my high risk list. But yeah, look, the volume looks good.
Share my crypto journey. Yeah, why not? The crypto journey, man, I think mine probably sounds like a lot of people's. Is like I mean, I was busy in school. I was preparing for my board exams in 2020. And then, the whole world shut off with COVID, and I had a buddy text me like, "Hey man, we should probably buy some stocks. Like the stock market's crashing. We should buy some stuff." So, it started from investment to options to let's find higher risk stuff to like I'm on Robinhood. It's the weekend. I'm turning into like, being addicted to markets. What's open? Oh, crypto's open. I don't know anything about crypto. Let me buy some Bitcoin. Let me buy some Ethereum, some Dogecoin, whatever. And I remember selling all that for a loss. Like I remember buying it August, I think, 2020. And then I think the crypto market nuked in like September, if I remember correctly. And I sold everything for a loss. And over the next few months, I was like, wait a minute, why is it coming back? This is supposed to be a scam. Everything's a scam. Crypto's a scam. Like, why is it all coming back? And I think Bitcoin went from 10K to 20K. And I was like, no, I need to buy some of this. I need to buy some of this. I know what crypto does when it makes a new all-time high. And I don't think I had alerts, but I woke up Thanksgiving morning. I had a Coinbase account funded and everything like that because I was waiting for a dip. And Thanksgiving morning, Bitcoin nuked from like I think 20K to 16K, something like that. And I just basically went all in, whatever money that I had in the account. I bought a bunch of Bitcoin, a bunch of Ethereum. Ethereum was like $500. And that's, man, that's the crypto journey. Like I'm sure I could go on for like 15, 20, 30 minutes, but like that's the gist of it. That's how I got into crypto. And I, the biggest thing is like I was a noob. Like I didn't know what to buy. My friend told me to buy Cardano afterwards. I bought Cardano at like 80 cents or something. And I got fucking destroyed March 2021. The March 2021
Yeah.
nuke,
Yeah.
Elon selling or whatever it was. And I remember being an idiot and being like, "Oh, Bitcoin's 60K and everyone's talking about going 100K and it's at 45. I should probably buy a little bit more spot. It's at 43. And I just remember eating so much shit and buying some altcoins in April 2021, and that portfolio going down like 80% or something like that. So I mean, I got destroyed like everyone else. And you know what really got me going with crypto was when we were down here. When we were down here in this area, I was like, well, I have big bags. They're all like hella in profit because Ethereum down here was like 1,700. And I had like a $500 cost basis. So I was like thinking, I was like, oh, okay, well, should I hold this for 3 more years or should I sell it? Should I move on? What should I do? And I just said, like, let me learn. What did I actually buy? What even is Ethereum? What is Bitcoin? Let me like learn. And I went down a rabbit hole and spent, I mean, like, I don't know how many hours that summer I spent reading books and listening to lectures and listening to stuff on YouTube, and probably a lot of, the wrong stuff, but a lot of good stuff too. And became pretty much a Bitcoiner. Like to this day, I believe in Bitcoin. After learning about, economics, I mean, I'm not like a genius or anything, but I spent a good amount of time where I feel like I can talk in a somewhat educated manner about this stuff. And I'm a Bitcoin believer. And that really was why I stuck around in crypto, was just putting in the work down here and understanding what I bought. And obviously everyone made a lot of money on this. I was just active. So I was able to make money on this and learn some very basic, market structure stuff. So I didn't get absolutely shredded on the way down. Held those gains, and like I said, I can go on and on and on and on, but I'm not gonna keep talking about it. Maybe we'll save that for some other day.
Yeah, one of those days that you mentioned when Bitcoin went to 25K, one of my accounts went to zero on KuCoin. I think I told you this before. I had buys all the way down to like what, I don't know, 40
It's this
40
one. Yeah, we talked about it. This one hurt.
Yeah, yeah. It went down to actually 38,500. So what happened when I woke up? I saw price was at 43, 44K. I was like, "Whoo!" I had limit orders all the way down to 42. All my buys are in, and my last stop loss was about 39 or 40, something like that. And I woke up, my account was zero.
Crazy,
Zero.
dude. Crazy. Yeah. Probably down here. You probably you're like, oh, I'll bid all this. I'll put my stop down here. And what was it? KuCoin, you said?
Yeah, I had actually. I think when I went, like before that day, I had orders all the way from 52 to 42, all the way down, because I just put like, at that point of time I was like, the market's not going to 42K. I mean, even if it does, there'll be some mean reversion. My bids would get filled. Some of my bids won't even get filled, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And then boom, zero.
And to this day, like I remember the worst too. Like that one sucked, but the 3AC that one weekend where I don't know, we went from like 28 to 22 in a few hours. Man, watching price during that day was crazy. That was just every few minutes, just down another $50, another $100, another $100, and it was just relentless. It was wild, dude.
It was continuous selling. It was literally continuous selling.
Yeah,
It was
it
like,
was crazy, dude. It was crazy. And this one too. This one, I was a rookie and didn't know what I was watching. And I went to sleep. I was like, oh, we're 42K. I woke up and none of the exchanges were working. Coinbase was broken. Everything was broke. Couldn't even buy down here. And being like, oh, there's a glitch on the phone. Like it was 42K. No, we're not at 29. What's going on here? Like something's broke. Oh, the app's broken. I can't even log in. And then I checked on like multiple sources. Like, what the fuck happened? What are we doing down here?
I mean, there are so many stories. I swear I could pretty much write like a 20 sort of lessons, and all those lessons are these absolute moronic things that I've done in crypto that have actually helped me become what I am today.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I think that's for everyone is it's not
100%.
even crypto, man. It's like if you can handle the failures in anything in life and use as an opportunity to grow, like, brighter pastures await you, right? It's like no
100%.
one learns anything from winning. Like if you keep winning, what do you learn? You're not learning anything. It's when you get your ass kicked that you're like you have to change something and you have to grow from it. And
Absolutely.
it takes a certain individual to grow from those, because a lot of people, they really do quit. Like that's the default setting of a lot of people, is like your innate nature says, hey, that's dangerous, that's bad for me, I shouldn't do that. Like touching a hot stove, you touch a hot stove, you burn your finger, like I'm never going to do that again. But other people will be like, well, let me invent oven mitts, let me invent something to protect my hands because I need to touch that thing. And that's trading, and that's a lot of things that are the most rewarding things in life. They hurt a lot, but you learn from them and you grow from them. And then when you're successful, people call you lucky. They don't understand how much work and how much stress that you went through, and how you
Yeah, I mean, look, with everything that has gone through, right from FTX to 3AC to Luna, but I had a big bag of Luna, by the way. And Yeah, it's like the things that people have gone through. If you're still like, if you're still here, you deserve an award. I mean, that's it. And
it,
that reward is or award, reward, whatever is the hype bull cycle everybody's waiting for. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. I mean, one thing that's important too is a lot of people are super doomer on Bitcoin and being like, oh, this is not going to happen. No bull market ever again. This is not, whatever. And we're going to do this, and recession is coming, and Binance is going to collapse, and a lot of stuff like that. I would tell people, like, and I talked about this when I was talking to Mercury the other day, is look how little time it took crypto to recover from FTX. Like I don't think people understand that this happened in the middle of November, and by January, by the yearly open, like 7 weeks later, we started a 9-month uptrend.
Absolutely. And look at ETH, by the way. Look at what happened with like FTX couldn't even make like a new
Yeah.
low for ETH.
Yeah, that's a big trigger, is that ETH didn't even make lower lows on FTX. I know exactly what you're talking about. I actually have that written on my chart to remind myself that, when ETH gets to 1300, when we get down here, if and when, I don't know, even I can't predict, but if and when we get down here, I'm not going to be listening to people saying ETH is going to 900, ETH is going to 800, ETH is going to whatever. I'm going to say, look, every time we've gotten down here, whether it's FUD, whether it's FTX, whether it's 3AC, people have bought the shit out of 1300, 1200, 1100, and I'm going to be buying the shit out of it as well. Like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like not even
Absolutely.
FTX could create lower lows on Ethereum. Don't worry about it.
Absolutely. I mean, look, whenever somebody asks me about whether there's going to be an alt season or a bull run, I have pretty much a standard answer, which is pretty much what I say every time. It's like, look, um, I'm bullish on human greed. As simple as that.
Yeah.
And as long as greed exists, which is as long as humanity exists, there will be greed, and as long as greed exists, there will be a bull run. The only question is, the doubtful part is whether you will own the coins that will get a bull run. And hopefully, if we get like something parabolic, like what happened before, where everything goes up, I don't know, but there will most definitely be a bull cycle, or an alt season of, yeah, whatever word suits you best.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, another thing we need to recognize is that Bitcoin doesn't need to go to 100K. It really doesn't.
Absolutely.
Like who cares if it goes to 100K? Guys, look at what we did this year. We went from 16 to pretty much 30, right? We didn't even do a proper 2x. Like if you want to take Pico bottom and Pico top, sure, but no one's selling bottom to top, right?
Yep.
Bitcoin didn't even put a 2x. It got outperformed by Nvidia, it got outperformed by Tesla, but the money that you could have made in crypto this year is unbelievable. And I know many people have done like unfathomable amount of money that's been created this year. And that's the opportunity that crypto provides. And that's why we're here to try to ride those trends and submit to whatever's going on in crypto, and really try to milk everything that this market offers. Like this was only 30K, imagine next year we get to 48, and whatever, let's say we go down to 22 to 48. That's a lot of money to be made in crypto. Like just being active, just being in the right place, and whatever narrative that it is. It doesn't matter if it's LDO, it doesn't matter if it's something new, it doesn't matter if it's AI. Just,
I
submit
mean,
and
and talking about opportunities, just look at what Bitcoin has done in the last 2 weeks, and look at the number of opportunities there have been in the market. I mean, for people like some of the smart people that I know, they've made more money than they would have made if Bitcoin was actually going up. And again, I get that the risks are higher, but nobody can deny that there have been opportunities. And at the end of the day, that's the only thing that's guaranteed. I mean, there's a very cool line from the movie, like Pursuit of Happiness, where he says, like, the Constitution gives you the right to pursuit of happiness, not happiness, just the pursuit of it. And I think similar, the market gives you opportunities. The market does not guarantee you wins or money or unimaginable wealth, but it does guarantee you opportunities, and there's no shortage of it. So the question isn't whether there's going to be a bull run or not, or whether there's going to be an alt season or not. The question is, will you be able to spot it or not? And that's it.
yeah, absolutely. Are there any coins anyone in chat wants us to cover? We haven't even talked to chat or asked them anything. We've just been here shit talking for. It's already been an hour, bro. Look how time flies.
Yeah, this is the thing that whenever I'm on a stream, especially when it's a stream when I'm talking to you or Shmosby for that matter, um, it's so weird. Like if somebody asks me how long it's been, I'll be like, what, 30 minutes, 35 minutes? There's no way I would have guessed like 56 without actually seeing it.
Yeah, yeah. This looks good to me too. I think. Did you buy any CAS yet, BT?
So sorry. I mean, look, for people who the CT people don't know this, but people who know me in real life, they know like I'm like super super. I think I don't know the right word. Maybe lazy or just um, forgetful, like short term forgetful, like a memory of an elephant in long term, but short term I'm super forgetful. So the next time, Doc, just tell me, just send me a DM saying buy, and I'm just gonna put some of my
No, I'm
money
not
in,
going to
in the
do
cash.
that because we've already had this We had this discussion down here in June, bro.
We've had that discussion 3 times already.
Yeah, we
It,
have.
it's not once. It's happened 3 times. And by the way, chat, Doc, somebody actually asked me on my last live stream a few days or maybe a week back.
Yes.
They were like, what are your thoughts on CAS? And I'm like, look, Doc is my CAS guy. I'm not even going to bother talking about CAS because I have never traded myself. But there are a few coins that I associate a few people with. Pepe, Doc's my guy. Cass, Doc's my guy. And whenever somebody's talking about, like the importance of having a favorite setup, Doc XPD is my guy. So it's like Caspa. I think I've just I put it in that category of coins that I just maybe will never make any money on, and maybe I need to accept that.
Oh my God, look at this. Dude, did,
SXP,
did
yeah.
anyone
Look,
capture this gap fill? Wow,
look,
that's like a bread and butter play for me. I'm really upset about this actually now.
look at the volume on that H1 candle. You on Bybit you would be like, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's no way somebody can guess how many X is the volume put on that one minute candle. Just
That's
for reference, the volume on that candle is 13 million, and the one before that was 123,000.
that's incredible.
Just comparing the volume of that candle with the previous candle. That's
Is there even a
from
trigger to get long? I don't even know what trigger I would have used on this move.
the only way. Again,
Yeah,
it
there's
says
no trigger for me on this.
the only way one could catch this is if you had set up an alert on volume on 15 minutes or 5 minutes or 1 minute. I mean, the lowest time frame you can go for is 15 minutes, because there was a volume spike from like the usual average volume on a candle on SXP on Bybit was 55,000,
Hmm.
and there was a spike where it went to 1.7 million. So which is like a what, like 30x, if I'm not wrong, somewhere around that, 30x in volume. So the only way one can spot this without using a screener or an automatic screener is to set up volume alerts on. And again, there's no way to know it because there's like so many coins.
There was another coin that's setting up like this that we talked about a few minutes ago. Oh, it's wild, I think, right?
Yeah, WLD, World Coin.
I almost I almost think the wild might be a better setup for continuation. Might be even more of a hated coin. Man,
Yes, I
I
mean,
gotta get my charts cleaned up. Yeah, this. Almost the same thing. Pretty clean. Both things that I need to watch. Put on my watch list. What else did you guys say? Rune, Ton, Gala. Oh yeah, World Coin, not Wild. You're right. Gala, man, there better be something going on with Gala. I hope you're not a bag holder. Holding. Okay, wait, it's up. Okay, all right, all right, all right. Anytime someone says Gala, I just get really like concerned that they're holding bags from 2021. Oh
I got.
no.
I mean, my most fond memory of Gala is when it got listed on Binance. It was way back, way back. I got incredibly lucky because I made some money on a trade, and I don't know why I just aped into this coin, and it was when those gaming coins were pumping, and all I saw was this was Gala Games, and it just got listed on Binance a few days back. I bought some, and it fucking like ripped, and I got so lucky off of it, and that's the fondest memory I have of this coin.
This this doesn't look horrible as far as a low time frame setup goes. But the thing I would be asking for anyone who wants to trade Gala is there something fundamental or a catalyst or an event or news or anything of why a trader would be like, I want to long Gala versus another coin? That's something you need to ask yourself. Like right now, let's say, for example, Cardano has a good setup on it. Why would trader whoever be like, let me take a long on Cardano versus taking a long on something that's more has more volume, has more attention, more eyes? That's something you always want to ask yourself with coins in these off seasons, is because we can't just randomly look at any coin and take trades on them just because there's a setup on it, right? We should always like aim to play some of the coins that are more in. At least that's how I think. I don't know how you guys think.
Absolutely.
Let's
No, no,
use that.
100%. I mean, my first concern here, just watching Gala, is number one, if I'm trading a coin that does not have a narrative associated with it, the minimum thing I need is if you draw like a support below that, those wicks there, they pretty much match up on the Binance chart. I don't know, wait, is this the Binance chart?
This
Uh,
is, I don't even know. Yeah, it's probably, I only click
yeah,
on
because the
Binance.
thing is, like, if, on the Binance chart, they pretty much like match really nicely, and those wicks on the perps chart. And if that's my minimum requirement, like my minimum requirement would be that this thing gets flipped, those wicks there, and then I would consider it. Otherwise, the only question I need to ask myself is like, why am I trading this instead of something that has a narrative associated with it? Sorry, yeah.
But I agree. The setup is there. It's clean. It's flipping an SR. It's flipping your downtrend that carried you from what, 19 down to 40. That's a pretty long downtrend, right? You're flipping that. This is an inefficiency, right? This is your high time frame moving average target. This is your supply. This is kind of an inefficient gap. Like I would understand taking a trade on this. I'm just personally not going to be interested in taking it, but I do see whatever you see, right? I see this is very clean. Your invalidation is very clean. It all makes sense.
Wait,
So
me?
sorry.
Wait. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't trade this coin.
Someone in chat asked
Oh,
about
okay. Sorry. Yeah, I thought you meant like me. No. Yeah,
no, no,
I
no.
would. I just believe that. Yeah, I mean, either a coin needs to have really good fundamentals for me to just buy it and hold on spot, or it needs to have something with it. Like even if it is something bad, like extremely high, extremely low funding rate, some OI spike, or like EIP 4844, which is supposed to come out sometime in December 2024. So something about ARB, optimism, any of those L2s, like it has to have a reason, or even something like it's a cartel coin, or like it's just doing something unusual, there's unusual volatility in it. If it's just a regular coin, I would just wait for a proper SR flip. And remember, I think I had a chat with you about this as well. um, what coin was it? It was some VC coin, and you tweeted about it, like how people keep waiting for it. um, what coin was it? And I said, look, one day this coin will flip higher time frame resistance into support, and then we'll get ultra bullish on it. And you were like, yeah, people keep. I think was it Sui? I think it was Sui, if
It
I'm
was
not wrong.
Sui. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and
100%.
it's
Yep.
the same thing. Like I expect, I'm bullish on it, but I'm bullish. I will be bullish on it once it flips that level. And
Yeah.
until these coins flip those higher time frame resistances into
Like, look
support,
at this. Like, why are you longing something that is
exactly
just getting destroyed
down
and getting
only. Yeah,
bullied by a downtrend? And you
it's
know what
literally
sucks
down only.
also is Hasaka, like a guy that I respect. I think he's a killer trader, but he keeps on leading people into slaughter on on Sui because he's tweeting. I think he caused all three of these, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, the same thing happened with no, was it SXP? But once it was SXP, once it was something else because I was in that trade as well. I think it was SXP. Yeah, it's all these weird coins. And look, I know like a friend of mine um, who's extremely good at news trading, probably the best news trader I've seen, is because he's super early to these trades and it makes sense. But whenever you get information like this, always ask yourself where you are in the information chain. If you see a tweet from Hasaka, which is 17 minutes ago, you're late already. If you're 7 minutes ago, you're late already. Unless you're like super early to the hitting the buy button, you're late already. And don't even bother getting in on the fun. Like you just it's okay to miss out on it. So whenever you like, I still believe this is one of the easiest ways, yet one of the most difficult ways to trade, as in it requires a lot of effort. But yeah, I know somebody who's extremely good at it, probably the best I've ever seen, and he makes a big chunk of his money from this. But then again, the problem is you see a Hasaka tweet 10 minutes later and they're still taking the trade. No, the trade's already gone.
Yeah,
People
exactly.
with bots on it. I mean, there's a reason Hasaka never tweets stickers, is because people have set up bots on his
Yep.
account and they immediately trigger their alerts. Like looking at Sui, I mean, if you look at can I show you this chart here? Um,
Yeah. Pull up your thing.
just look at this. Whenever this thing keeps dumping, all I do is I make a line, I put an alert on it. And
Yeah.
one day, what's going to happen is, like this thing could continue on its downtrend to wherever it wants to go, and one day one of these lines will get flipped. And when it does, I'll start considering it.
Yeah.
Maybe this thing just gets rejected here, makes a new low, then comes up again, makes a new low. Eventually, one of these lines will become, like this chart will flip that line. And earlier it was this line. Wait, yeah, that's why. Earlier it was this level here. Now it's basically this low. I mean, look at this. This was the 10th June low. Um, this was the 10th June low on Sui. And as of now, that's my only the Binance first Binance low is my level that I'm tracking. Once it does flip it, I'll start looking for opportunities. But then once it flips this level here, 0.62, I know I'm gonna catch a monster trade on this one. It's just about patience for now. Like there's stages to a trade. And this one is on the patience stage right now.
Yeah.
I've just set up my alerts, I
You
forget
know,
about it.
it looks like Sui and the world coin is the same chart, right? It's just down only, and world is now flipping. So it's the exact example that you're talking about. It's the same thing.
Yeah, 100%. Just set up your alerts. Downtrending coins are, in my opinion, the biggest opportunities. If it's a good, if you have a reason to believe it will pump. Like I look, Sui is a heavy VC coin. Okay, it's in the best interest of VCs to pump it. By the way, there's a big DYDX unlock coming in December. I think there's a banger trade on DYDX for the same reason. Is they're expecting some bullish dev news to come out uh, because that it's a massive unlock. I'm forgetting the numbers, but it's one of the biggest unlocks they ever had. It's the same unlock that got delayed, and for that reason, I think it's an opportunity. Similar to how I believe Sui is an opportunity, but as of now, it's in the waiting stage of the game.
Yeah. Agreed. 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 I really want to know what's going on with Kava. I feel like this one might be a continuation. I need a anyone in chat knows if there's something fundamental about this going on, or if it's a cartel coin, or did someone tweet it? Did Hisaka tweet it? Because I saw it on the timeline yesterday, but I did not pay attention to why Kava is pumping. Something I need to do some research on.
Kava.
Arc. I don't know what that means.
Oh, was the sorry, the
That was
latest
what you opened up
icon.
the stream with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was look if you look at the date. I mean,
What is
Arc
this
had
coin?
no. That's why I'm hesitant in tweeting about it. That's why I never share setups about these coins because I don't know what they are.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't. I've never
I
heard of it.
and
Today's
that's
the
why
first time.
like all these high risk cartel coins, I never know what they are. Maybe they're a scam, maybe they're not. I'm just trading them, and that's why I never share their setups on Twitter or talk about them on YouTube. I just like keep it to myself or share it with a select group of people who I know won't like come back and be like, hey, what the fuck, why are you sharing this shit coin? Because I'm just trading them, and
Yeah.
it's the volume that brings it. And I feel the best way to trade these coins is
I think
in a
just
closed group.
not to cut you off there, but I think, as a trader, everyone knows you're trading, right? And I don't think there's anything that's off limits for a trader to talk about. I don't think, you're not the guy that's like, hey, I'm trading on chain and I'm shilling you this sub $1 million market cap coin. I think it's a complete different thing. As a trader, I don't think there's anything, excuse me, off limits to share as far as a trade goes, because you're telling people, look, I'm just buying this and selling it here. I'm shorting this and I'm covering here. I think it's completely different.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with it, but then again, I struggle with it. It's just when I first started streaming,
Oh, shit.
I sort of made a point that I will never sort of shill sub 50 million coins. I'm never even going to talk about them. I'll just like ignore them, just to ignore all of the pump and dump and that shit. And I just realized it's much more easy to just trade them by yourself, because also these are the coins that people get wrecked on. And of course, it's their mistake not putting a stop loss in. But these are the coins that will take your account to zero if you're not like if you're not careful with it. And it's so easy to get wrecked on this, which is why I like, unless I know everybody who's there, like, or it's unless it's like a closed group of people on Twitch that I'm talking to 30 minutes, like on the stream, or it's like I just recently shared a setup of it on Friendtech, and even then I just don't share the setup. I just share my ideas and thought process behind it,
Yeah.
because yeah, I don't know. I just personally struggle with sharing setups on these high volatile coins. Like even Cyber was the favorite cartel coin before, and yeah, look at what it did. I mean,
Yeah,
what
you
the fuck
get
even is this?
August Ames in chat said Kava has a strategic partnership with DWF Labs. So probably the next
it's
card
the
there. So
it's the best.
worth paying attention to.
Absolutely. Let me actually open the Kava chart. Um, Master list. Look, if whenever you like, again, I'll call it luck maybe. Yesterday with Arc is whenever you believe that this coin is next, what I do is just look for a trend or something to follow. Like as of now, if there's somebody in the chat who believes that this coin is the next cartel coin, I'll just look for something like this, and the next time it gives me something like this, I'm taking an entry here, something like that.
Yeah, pretty
And it's
much.
just about
Keep it
like
very
something about.
simple.
And maybe I'll get stopped, maybe I won't. I always tell myself that I get 2 attempts, 3 attempts, 4 attempts, whatever, depending on what the coin is, what the upside potential is, whether it's going into uncharted territories, which was true for which was true for Arc, like it was going into price discovery zone, which is not the case here. Secondly, this level here is coming, which is the short term EMA 36, where this could just get rejected. So look, I don't know if you believe this is the next cartel coin, and if we get a daily candle close above EMA 21 like this, a wick down to EMA 21 is a good entry in my opinion for some sort of a higher time frame, super low leverage trade. Other
So
than
what
that,
I've
if you're
noticed
just looking to ride this, is this one.
so what I've noticed is on coins like these that kind of grind down only. This is one of my bread and butter plays. Let me share this real quick. Is these gap fills. And I learned this from studying from Pierre Crypto. This is one of
Yep.
his like bread and butter plays, is like reclaim some market structure, reclaim an SR, and then it just giga pumps. Like it gives you this God candle where you just cannot get in, and it'll close the entire gap. Right. So that's just something to worth watching. And I think we just saw this. I think I covered this exact same thing on SXP. Right. Boom. Right. That's the trade there. It's like that same exact schematic where it's just grinding down, flips the H4 100 200 and then just gap fills straight up to the daily. So worth watching on Kava right now. Um, just from a speculation standpoint, especially with the whole DWF Labs thing, because that's kind of the meta right now. They're the main character of the market. Anything they touch is kind of pumping. Especially if you start seeing, negative funding on this thing, take a position and ignore it. See what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just quickly, if you really want to go into proper speculation, degen of something like that, I'm just telling what I would do here. In fact, after the stream close, I will probably go and do this. Is I'll just wait for these EMA 21s to catch up with this level here. In fact, if there is no dip to EMA 36 anytime soon, I'll just wait for these to catch up and this thing to just go sideways. And if I get something off of this horizontal here, which is this top as well as this top, as well as the EMA 21 protected by the EMA 36 here, I will just take that position because look, again, this is all speculation. This is just my opinion. Is this is the potential next cartel coin, and if that's the case, all I want to do is get a good entry, put a stop below it, and then ride the wave. As simple as that. If I get a retracement all the way down here, good enough. But there's a good chance that doesn't happen because this was the previous local top here on 15 minute. Again, low time frame scalping, got rejected here again, and we finally breaking up. So if we do get something like this, I will most definitely take this trade, even if it does take me down, get me stopped out, get me a deviation. I'll take another entry. I'll do that. I believe these cartel coins is worth the risk, and at the end of the day, that's all I ask myself when I'm taking like I give myself a fixed number of attempts for these cartel coins, get a good entry, ride the wave.
Yeah. Another one is, what is this? Hi-Fi? I don't know how to pronounce this.
Yeah, have yeah HFFI. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was the arc 3 days ago, and yes, it kept pumping, and then it has had a massive correction
I mean,
today,
this is
massive.
this is crazy, man. This is crazy. Just saying it again, guys. I don't have an edge trading these coins, right? I can only try to apply my system to them. Um, and that's really it. Like, I can't tell you I think it's going higher. I can't tell you that it's been topped or whatnot. The meta for these coins is completely different than what I'm used to trading in my system. So I just try to apply the simplest method possible, which is, hey, is it maintaining market structure? Yes. Is it respecting a trend? Yes. And that's pretty much the end of it. There's not too much. I don't try to complicate
Doc,
it.
maybe we should start a new side account and try to trade these. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have no accounts open right now. Like, absolutely everything's closed. So I would have to open up a fresh sub account.
Yeah,
No
perfect.
problem.
I'll do that as well. We'll put in a small value. We'll start with something small and just trade these shitcoins. Maybe we go to zero. Maybe we go higher. I don't know. We do it with everybody in the chat sometime in the future.
Yeah, for sure. This is another one. I just want to cover this one quickly. Cass has been respecting the 4-hour trend. It's taking back a significant area of supply. I know that candle looks fucking terrible right now, but basically, as long as you're trading above kind of like 47 and not really reaccepting down here, I think this looks really good for
Yeah,
continuation.
this is slightly off topic, but what's that level where that blue line starts, Doc? Just for entertainment purposes for me, like just your setup. What's
Oh,
the
wait.
what's the entry number?
Oh, 50, 57. Dude, this is all speculation, right? Whenever
No, no, not
something
that
gets,
one. The entry one. The entry level.
oh, the entry level 465.
One sec. Let me actually note this down here, please. And again, I'm just doing something on my own. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
I'll keep this one in
465.
mind.
Basically, once this downtrend ended, we've been flipping the 4-hourly trend. We've been holding the 4-hourly trend for this entire thing. It's getting very ugly and congested right here, which is no big deal for me. That the local price action doesn't really matter, as long as you're maintaining that high time frame uptrend, and you're not going to lose this level here. If you start losing 465 and you're starting to lose the 4-hourly trend, then yes, a much bigger correction is due. I know I just have this RR tool for visualization purposes. I wouldn't
Absolutely.
actually have my stop looking like this. It would be
100%.
because you don't want to if you're trading the 4-hour trend, you don't want price to start accepting below the 4-hour trend, which is for me now going to be around 46, right? Accepting below this opens up the possibility of a deeper correction all the way down into like here.
Absolutely.
Bro, we've been talking for an hour and 20 minutes now.
Yeah, I'll probably go and have dinner now, even though it's 1:30 a.m. where I am. So, but it's time for dinner too.
Nice, man. Yeah, this was pretty crazy impromptu. I hope you get your Twitch fixed.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish the same, but I mean, I don't know. I'll just watch some YouTube videos or something to get that thing started.
Yeah, man. Krillin's busted. I don't even know if I follow Krillin's trades anymore. The algorithm doesn't feed him to me anymore on Twitter. But that guy is crazy. But yeah, man, let's call it there. I think that was
perfect.
good enough.
This was amazing. Thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it. And yeah, by the way, thank you for helping me try the Twitch thing, even though it didn't work. Also, somebody in the chat said, I actually, once you left on the Twitch stream, I told everybody that if they ever meet you, to buy you a beer because you're a really nice guy. For helping me out there with Twitch. There was this one guy who was like, look, if I ever meet Doc, I'm gonna buy him 50 beers because he's made me so much money. So maybe you should contact that guy because he's buying you 50 beers.
That sounds like a good time, actually.
Yeah, that's 5-0, by the way. So it seems like a good time for n number of people.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Good night and happy hunting.
Yeah. Follow Bombay if you guys don't, but I think everyone in this chat already does.
Thank you, guys. Yeah.
All right, boys. Later.